Hey guys, what's up? Jeff with Top Star Mobile Detailing Las Vegas. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how you can make $1,000 per day in your detailing business. We're going to talk a little bit about time management, just kind of structuring out your schedule throughout the day in order to achieve those $1,000 days. So let's jump into it, guys. Let's go.
$1,000 a day, every now and then. What's the average? What would you say?
Yeah. It's not going to be an everyday thing. It's kind of unrealistic to think you're going to do that every single day, because what that entails is getting up super early, we're here at 7 a.m., right at 7 a.m., and we're going to be working right till the sun goes down in order to achieve that $1,000 a day. You know, realistically, for me, anything above 500 per day I consider that a good day. $1,000 and up is obviously a great day. But I always shoot for a minimum of 500 per day. So that's just kind of my goals. What do you guys think? What's your goals for the day? Do you guys have a set amount that you aim to achieve for each day or each week? For me, I try to shoot for around 3,500 to 4,000 per week is a good average week for me. That's what I'm targeting now as a weekly goal for me.
So when it comes to making as much money as possible in a day, are you trying to get those big details at minimum, or something is better than nothing?
Yeah, so that's a good question, Reyes. There's a lot of different ways you can get to 1,000 a day, right? So there's days where sometimes I just do one ceramic coating and that puts me at 1,000 for the day, and I might only work 6 hours to 8 hours, right? Those are really good. Some days you're doing a bunch of small, like, express details. Like today we're going to be doing 4 different express details on SUVs. So we're looking at 240 each times 4. Plus I'm assuming there'll be a little bit of tip in there. Should put us right over that $1,000 threshold. Other days it's a lot of, maintenance clients, stuff like that, where like it's really hard to hit 1,000 when you're doing 4 or 5 maintenance clients in a day, just because those price points aren't going to be that high. You're spending a lot of time driving around from location to location. Whereas today, we got lucky the way that it worked out. We have this one here. The next one we're going to, we have 2 vehicles at the same location. That really helps out time-wise, because it's another hour that's spared of having to drive from one end of the city to the other end of the city. So anytime you get multiple vehicles at the same location, that's a really good thing. And that's why I don't mind offering 10% off for those guys, because not only does it save you on the fuel cost, but it allows you to get more vehicles into that day, into that time frame, where you have a better shot of hitting that $1,000 mark for the day.
Hey, and I've been following you for a couple of days. We actually, I think, didn't have anything planned for Sunday. And then just over the last couple of days, last minute.
Yeah, it's funny when you get in, you're like, so what do we got going on? And I had Friday and Saturday fairly stacked up, but Sunday I had nothing when you got here on Friday. And Reyes was like, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do on Sunday, man? Are we just gonna go walk around the strip or what? I'm like, don't worry about it. It's coming. It comes. I wake up and there's 2 bookings on the website, or you guys see me taking calls pretty much all day and stacking up those appointments. The important thing with taking calls, and I want to point this out to you guys, is when you take phone calls and you're booking your appointments, me personally, what I like to do is I like to offer them the earliest spot of the day, which is 7 a.m., or one of the latest spots in the day, which right now is like 4 p.m., because it's getting dark around 6:30. You never want to start off planning out your day with a midday detail, because then you have to work around that, and it becomes really difficult scheduling wise to get in those 4 or 5 cars per day. So if you start off at 7, like this one, it makes it really easy, because then you just say, hey, next appointment is at 9:30, next appointment is at 12:30, and you go out from there. Or you can work backwards from the end of the day back to the beginning, but you don't want to start in the middle, because it makes it really difficult. You end up with all these weird gaps and stuff that's like in between details, and that just kills your time. It just wastes your day away. So try to keep that in mind when you're scheduling out your details, and plan that out accordingly.
That's a lot of money for one person, but sometimes you get help.
Yeah.
How much more can you get done, but also how much are you giving up?
Yeah, that's a good point. I actually just had a helper the other day with me, because I had 6 cars in one day. And I wouldn't have been able to service that amount of vehicles in one day because it was like 5 express fulls and then 1 executive full, which that alone takes 4 hours on its own. So without a helper, that wouldn't have been possible. That day, I want to say it was right around 1,700 total for the day. You know, and you pay them a couple hundred out of the day, depending on how many hours they worked or how much they helped. He only helped me partially for the day, so I did the majority of the day on my own, but helped me get through some of the ones that I wouldn't have been able to do it without him. So, you know, so you could make another $500, $600, $700 and pay out another 2, 3, maybe 4. So you just have to weigh out, is it going to be worth it as far as what you're taking in versus what you're paying out. For me to do like 4 cars on my own, I can handle that pretty easily myself after, you know, I've been doing this for a while. I have a system that just works for me. If I were to bring in another person for like today, yes, it takes some of the load off of me. It's not as much work. I don't have to work as hard, but I'm gonna be paying them out $250, $300. So instead of me walking with 1,000, I'm walking with like 700. I would rather put in the hard work and just power through the day. And I use helpers when it's just too much for me to handle on my own and I wouldn't be able to get to all those cars.
There's a lot of detailers out there that say, you know what, I'd rather work by myself, do what I could handle, keep all the money, than deal with an employee and give him some of my profits.
I think it comes down to, it's not necessarily about even keeping all the money. It's dealing with the headaches that come along with having an employee and just having that kind of out of your control. When it's just me, I know the quality of the work. I know everything's under my control. When you start bringing in external factors like other employees, now you have to go back and check all their work, make sure it's up to your standard. Depending on the helper, I've had some that are really good and some that are not so good, you know. So the ones that are really good, they make your job a lot easier. I'm glad to have them and I don't mind paying them more money for it. The ones that are not so good, it's just not worth the headaches. You end up having to do just as much work because you have to go back over their work, a lot of times redo their work, or you're spending a lot of time like coaching them as to what to do. Hey, what's next? They're standing around, you know. So it's gonna depend on the level of the helper that you bring in and if it's worth the return on the investment for you.
So Jeff, I've been seeing you use the drill brush. Why are you not using it this time?
Yeah, Ray, so the reason why two reasons why I'm not using it on these is, number one, they're not that dirty. It's just mostly just a little bit of surface dirt on these, so they're not super grimy. But number two, I don't know if you can see how deep the grooves are on these. It's really tough to get in with a drill brush to get all the way down to the bottom of these grooves. So I like to use a brush that you can the bristles will get in deeper like that. And it's really just more a little bit of surface dirt on these. So it's just kind of cleaning them up, giving them that fresh look. So drill brush should be a little hard on this. You could use it on stuff like this where it's flat. You know, this will work really well because the grooves are pretty shallow. But when you get deep grooves like those, it's a lot harder to get down into the actual grooves. Make sense?
All right, Jeff. So there's a lot of detailers out there that say, why am I gonna waste my time doing the maintenance, making $50 to $100 after expenses, when I could be doing a full detail for $200, $300? Ceramic coating for $500 to $1,000. Paint correction. What do you gotta let them know, man?
You know, we talked about this in another video a while back. I think it was the one we talked about fleet accounts and maintenance clients. So the thing is, guys, you have to think about it this way. It's not always going to be busy every single day. You're not going to be like going from sunrise to sunset every single day. And that's where the maintenance clients come in to fill in those gaps for you. So I get a lot of detailers reaching out to me saying, what do you do in the wintertime? What happens when it slows down, right? So that's where those maintenance clients are going to come into play. They're going to basically keep that reoccurring revenue coming into your business week after week, month after month. When you have a couple dozen maintenance clients that you can rely on every month, even if it slows down and you're not getting a ton of new business, you have that to fall back on. So you know you're at least going to be able to pay your bills, pay your rent, put gas in your rig, you know. So would I rather be doing full price details? Of course, right? You're making more money per hour. But the maintenance plans also don't take as long too, whereas a standard express detail is going to take approximately 2.5, maybe 3 hours. A maintenance client, I can knock some of those out in an hour to 90 minutes. If you price it out as like a price per minute, it's not really that much different. So I think a lot of people have this notion that it's maintenance clients, you don't make any money, right? Like if I charge $100 on a maintenance client and I'm knocking that out in an hour, say 90 minutes, it's still over $1 per minute to do those, you know? So you have to price them accordingly. Don't go too low on your maintenance clients. But even me, I'm at 50% off on my maintenance clients, and I still turn a really good profit on those. So another thing to consider, we talked about this in the fleet account video as well. If you ever have any intention of selling your business at some point, right? And maybe some of you guys don't, but if you're thinking about that in the future, when someone's looking at buying your business, they're not just looking at buying your trailer with the products and the equipment that you have inside. They could go buy that anywhere. That doesn't really mean anything to them. What they're looking at when they're looking at buying your business is the brand that you've built, the clients that you have on a reoccurring revenue. So your fleet accounts, your maintenance clients, because if you position that right, those will transfer over with the business. If you make the introduction with your customers and say, hey, so-and-so is going to be running the business from now on. They do great work. They're going to continue to serve you at the same rates. That person is going to pay a lot more for that type of business when they know that it has reoccurring revenue coming into the business. Does that make sense to you guys? Yeah, so you want to set that up to where you have those maintenance clients. Hopefully you have a couple fleet accounts, you know. And I'm not saying everyone wants to sell their business, but it's good to have that exit strategy as an option down the line if you want to do that. Anyway, let me know what your thoughts are on it, guys. Personally, I like having maintenance clients. I try to convert almost all of my clients into some type of maintenance program. And when you get enough maintenance clients, if you get up to 50, 100 maintenance clients, that supports you being able to build out a second unit. Like for me, I want to build out a whole nother second unit once I get some good, reliable help. But having those maintenance clients, it takes the stress out of it because you know that money's coming in. That's going to be guaranteed no matter what. That's just my opinion on it, guys. Let me know what you think. Drop it in the comments below.
All right, Jeff, talking about making $1,000 in a day, what's the most you've ever made in one day detailing?
I had one day where we did like 13 details in one day, full details in one day. And it was me and my friend Randy from Black Diamond, who we mentioned in one of the other videos. And we teamed up and collabed together on it. And it was like 13 different vehicles, including like semi trucks and school buses and like, you know, all these different random vehicles they were doing for an event. And that day, I want to say it was like a little over 3,000 for the day. And we worked on it all day into the dark. You know, we were working till like 9 p.m. at night on that. But again, we chopped that up because Randy, we did equal work on it. I couldn't have done it without him because he had his water tank and I needed the extra tank as well. And, you know, we each pulled our own weight with that. So we pretty much, I take out what I had to pay for taxes since the payment runs through my business, and then we chop up the rest on that. Individually, without anyone else, I had one day where I did a $1,500 ceramic coating, and then I did another detail on top of that, which was like an executive detail, and that was right around 2,000 for the day. That was probably my best individual day that I had. But I have a lot that are 1,000+ days now, you know. I do that at least a few times a week. This month, we've been jamming this month, man. This has been one of my best months to start off so far. We're not even in a week into it and I'm already at 5K for the month. So, you know, months like that, I love it. Especially I'm gonna be taking a week off to go visit family later this month. So it kind of helps out with taking a little pressure off on that. I'm not stressed about money or anything like that. But yeah, anytime I don't usually make under 10 now. So that's kind of the minimum for me now. The average is usually around 13, 14. And then my higher months, like 16, 17, right around that range.
You work 12+ hours a day, every single day. Yeah. No matter how hot it is, no matter what you're going through. And, you know, I just want to let people know that you
Yeah.
can't hit these numbers working 2 cars a
No,
day.
it's not realistic. If you think you're gonna do this 40, 50 hours a week and hit those numbers, it's not possible, I'll tell you straight up, because I literally work pretty much all day, every day. And I don't mind, I enjoy it. It's not, for me, it's like, I like the grind. And you know, I don't quit when I'm tired. I quit when I'm done for the day, so I just power through. There are some days when I'm tired and just, you know, it's rough and you just gotta grind it out, you know. I think like David Goggins says, you gotta embrace the suck sometimes when you know, like, man, I'm completely exhausted and I still gotta do this another car before the day's over. But you know, you power through it, and at the end of the day, when you're counting up your stack of money, it's like, it makes it worth the while, you know. And for me, like I said, I enjoy it. I thrive off the grind. I love detailing. It's a passion for me, especially when it's nice out like right now. It's beautiful. I love being outside in this weather. I'd probably be doing this anyways on my own car or something, even if I wasn't getting paid. So I actually really enjoy it, and I think that's important, you know, to have a business that you actually like doing, that you have passion for, because I could have chose to do like any type of service business. I mean, I could have went into like a pool business, you know, or like a house cleaning business, and I could easily scale that to a 6-figure business per year, same as with the detailing thing. But I have zero passion for that stuff. I don't want to be cleaning showers and scrubbing toilets and stuff like that for 6 figures. It's just not, I have no interest in that. So you want something that you're passionate about, because when times get tough, when you're having those days where you're like, oh man, this is rough, it's that passion that's going to carry you through. It's going to get you through those hard times. And that's what's going to keep you going and keep you motivated. So that's just my thoughts on it, guys. What do you think? Let me know what you guys think about it. Drop it in the comments below. Hey guys, so we just finished up the detail. I did want to share with you guys one of the tools that I use that helps me get reviews. I had these little cards printed up at Vistaprint. Basically just says, thank you for choosing Top Star Detailing. I appreciate your business. If you're happy with the service that I provided, if you scan this QR code below, it's going to take you right to my Google page. And then I go into my pitch about the review. I'll just say, hey, I would really appreciate it if you guys would leave me a review. It helps me reach new customers in the area, keeps my phone ringing, keeps me working. So I like to give them this when I'm leaving. Just make it easy for them. They have the QR code on here, right? Now, if they don't post the review by tomorrow, then I'll send a follow-up text. It just says, hey, it was great meeting you yesterday, and do the whole text with link to my review page in that follow-up. So there's opportunity number 1 to get the review. If they don't do that by the next day or within 48 hours, you want to send that follow-up text. That's 2 times, and then that's it after that. If they don't do it after that, don't keep asking them. You're going to sound desperate. It's going to sound like you're begging for reviews. Just cut it after that and then move on to the next one. And maybe if you get them again as a customer again in the future, then you can approach that again later on. So let me know what you guys think. Do you use something like this as far as getting reviews? Do you like to ask the customer in the driveway? Do you just send them a link with no information? Tell me how you guys do it. Curious to hear your feedback. Thanks. Bye. Hey guys, so that's pretty much all we got for this video. Let me know what you guys like as far as content goes. You know, I want to hear your feedback. What type of videos would you like to see in the future? Happy to make those videos for you guys. If you guys are getting value out of this, please do me a favor, like and subscribe to the channel. It helps us support the channel, helps us reach out to other detailers and build this community up. The community is for you guys, and I appreciate the support, okay? Talk to you soon.